What's up, guys? My name is Eric. I'm going to show you how to get skinny to jacked, no BS, okay? So my fitness journey, it took about 5 years, but I'm going to show you guys how you can do this, and I'm going to condense that time frame so that you can get jacked in 6 months or less without spending hours in the gym, okay? All right, let's get straight to it. So, number one, you got to track your goddamn calories, okay? I don't believe, if you're generally a healthy person, you haven't had any genetic disorder or any food disorder diagnosed by your doctor, then you're making excuses, okay? You're leaving gains on the table. You got to track your calories. Here's how you're going to do that, okay? Step one, find your maintenance calories. So this is the amount of calories that you eat to maintain your weight. You got to eat a little more than that, in order to gain weight. I provided a calculator. You just need to Google it, search up calorie calculator, and what that's going to do is that's going to show you and tell you to provide your stats, your age, whatever, your activity level, and then it's going to give you the results, okay? Whether based on your goals or whether you want to maintain weight. Number two, you're going to track your foods. You're going to track your foods using MyFitnessPal, any food tracker like that, and you're going to have a food scale so that you can weigh your food, okay? I'm going to go a little bit more into that. So, for example, this is my MyFitnessPal. This is kind of like this is like a day of what I ate, and the red numbers don't mean anything. You're using this as data, okay? The more data you have, the more you have a better understanding of what you're eating and if you're on the right track. Number three, you're going to eat based off of that maintenance here, and then you're going to eat 5 to 15% more than that, and you're going to go into a lean bulk or main gaining. That's what people call it. It's just a slight caloric surplus. It's a fancy way of saying slight caloric surplus. You're just going to eat a teeny tiny amount more than what you eat or you use to maintain your weight. And the reason why is you don't want to gain excessive weight fast, because that's going to be stored as fat now. Of course, you're going to pick up fat no matter what when you gain weight, but the goal is to look aesthetic, right? If you want to look jacked, if you want to look like this, you can't go on a dirty bulk, okay? And the amount of people that say to dirty bulk and cut, it just depends, right? If we want to increase our strength, maybe that's a little different. But if you want to look aesthetic, dirty bulk is not the way, okay? That's redundant. It's stupid. Number four, you're going to track your weight daily or weekly, and you're going to adjust based on your weekly trends. It's like stocks, okay? You kind of look at what the numbers go up and down, and then you make a guess or you make an informed decision based off of that. And I would typically aim to gain 0.5 to a pound per week until you reach your desired weight goal, okay? The reason why is we don't want to, again, put on too much weight quickly. We don't want to put on too much fat. That's going to kind of cover all the muscle that we're going to build, and we're going to have to cut back down and get the muscle when we could have just lean bulked in the first place. You get what I mean? So you're going to track. For me, proof of concept. I wouldn't tell you guys to do this if I didn't do it myself, by the way. So this is what I did about last year, June to September. I tracked almost every day, right? It's okay. If you miss certain days, just be a lot more consistent. Do more right than you do wrong. And so this is what I did. I started at 143. And as you can see, my weight fluctuates. It goes up, it goes down. But over time, like the S&P 500 on stocks, right? Over time, as we get to September, I start to increase my weight. I build muscle as I train up to 149. How did that happen? Because I tracked. I wasn't shooting stuff in the dark and just eating because I swear I'm eating. It's my fastest metabolism, right? You guys need to get rid of your self-limiting beliefs, because if you're a healthy, well-being, human being, and you're privileged and blessed to have this body and be able to move like how you and me do, then you're being lazy. You're not performing at your highest potential that you could be, right? So that's why you got to track. A big caveat to this, right? To this tracking calories is not to eat whatever you want, okay? Even though you're tracking, it's not an excuse to eat whatever you want. Again, don't go into a dirty bulk. Just eat a little bit more than your maintenance. And then general rule of thumb, try to eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And if you use, I think the metric system, right? Yeah. Non-USA people, you're going to eat 2.2 grams per 1 kilogram of body weight. And this is not an excuse, again, to eat absolute junk. You should be eating 85-15. And what that means is you're eating 85% clean foods and 15% is flexible. And your foods should be colorful so that you get your vitamins, your minerals, and your fibers. Okay, it's not just all protein. You're not drinking and spamming protein shakes all in every day, right? You shouldn't have like more than once or twice in a day. All right, that's the first one. Track your goddamn calories. 2, you got to strength train. Okay, you don't go do cardio and running if you're skinny, right? I'm pretty sure everybody knows this, but if you think you're gonna build muscle from those activities, you're not. Okay, you got to do some sort of resistance training. If you're into calisthenics, perfect. That's your own body weight. But up to a certain point, you're going to plateau because then your body weight, your body adapts to your body weight, and so you're going to need more external resistance. You're gonna need to put on a weight vest. You're going to need to use plates, weighted plates, anything that could be progressible with external resistance, right? So this is just me. Olympic lifting, gradually progress every time. Number 2, you're going to focus on compound exercises. And what that means is you're going to perform exercises that hit all, a majority of your major muscle groups. So for upper body, that would be chest, the bench press, right? That hits chest, that hits your shoulders, that hits triceps. Squats, that hits your thighs, that hits your butt, and your back muscles, right? You want to choose exercises that kill 2 birds with 1 stone, get the most return on investment, ROI, right? And you want to follow a sound program that includes progressive overload. For me, I use the Notes app personally on the iPhone, and I track my stuff the old school way. I know you use apps and stuff like that, but this is what my preference is. At least just know how you're progressing instead of just going to the gym aimlessly, lifting whatever weight you feel like, and then you wonder why you haven't grown, and it's been like 6 months to a year, right? You've barely grown. And this is how you're going to get jacked. There's going to be a significant difference if you play your cards right, if you follow everything that I say in this video to a T. I promise you, I'm providing as much free value for you to follow. As long as you follow this video to a T, you're going to get the results that you're looking for, or at least close to it. I know genetics play a role. You're not going to look like me. You're not going to look like me because you aren't me. You're going to look like you and what your genetic predisposition is, okay? But you don't know because you haven't done the work, okay? I'm just giving you the information for you to then do the work, okay? Make sense? And then you're going to eat the right foods. Step 3, eat the right foods, because don't dirty bulk, because if you can't eat relatively clean, you're cooked, okay? Why are you going to overindulge on these hyper-processed, hyper-palatable foods, cookies, crumble, Raising Cane's, In-N-Out, right? You want to eat 85-15. 85-15 is king. Again, like I said, 85% clean, minimally processed foods, 15 flexible, right? As you can see, I eat my 85. I do the work with the rice, the mixed veggies, ground beef. And then, obviously, this isn't so super processed, but like the cereal, right? I can eat some of this stuff. It's still relatively clean, like less processed compared to hot Cheetos, a burger. And I can eat whatever the hell I want because honestly, I've developed my own intuitive eating after putting in the hard work, the hours, right, of staying disciplined, things like that. So I can intuitively eat. I can kind of tell when I'm being unhealthy compared to healthy, right, quote unquote. But number 2, as a skinny guy, right, I totally get you guys. Like, either you get full easily or you eat so much but you're not gaining weight. Again, that problem is due to tracking. But if you can't eat so much food in one sitting, you got to split it up. You got to know your meal timings, know your body. Like, can you eat a lot of food in one sitting, or do you need to spread them out? For me, I typically eat 3 full meals, and then I spread my 2 snacks in between that are high protein, fiber, nutritious. Or maybe I'll eat a cookie too, but I don't overindulge in it. Whatever it's going to take to hit my calorie goal. But the backbone or the anchor is 85% relatively clean foods, okay? And then number 3, you got to eat your veggies. You got to eat your fruits and veggies, okay? You're not 5 years old. If your palate is so cooked to the point where you can't eat anything else other than fried food, or you got to take out and you can't cook at home, and all those foods don't seem appealing to you, you need to do inner work. You need to start small. You need to start cooking at home and trying what works for you. Do you like eggs? Do you like chicken, ground beef? Do you like chicken tenders, fried chicken tenders? Start with chicken breasts. Make chicken strips at home, chicken tenders, things like that. Don't cook them in oil. Start grilling them, and start seeing what works for you. You got to do the inner work slowly. It might not change over days. It might take weeks. It might take months. It might even take a full year. That's the thing, though. You guys are so impatient. You guys don't want to wait and go through this full process and put your 100% all in trying to figure this problem out. And, you guys end up giving up too early. And then you guys end up reverting back to what's kind of leaving you and putting you in the same state every single time. That's why you're not jacked, right? That's why you clicked on this video. So I'm here to educate you guys to take the right step in the right direction. Okay? And then lastly, you're going to use hyper-processed foods as a tool, not a crutch. So all these supplements, protein shakes, calorie-dense foods like In-N-Out, hyper-processed foods, cookies, things like that. Like, if you rely on that, it's going to jack up your system. Eating relatively clean foods is important to hit your vitamins, your micronutrients like magnesium, zinc, so that you don't trigger inflammation, you don't develop insulin resistance, which is linked to type 2 diabetes down the line, right? If you keep eating these type of foods, you're just spiking up your blood sugar, you're crashing, your energy, your mood, you're not focused. So that's why you want to avoid eating as much hyper-processed food as you can, but use it as a tool for whenever you need to hit your calorie target. Because I'm aware that if you eat relatively clean, it's going to be hard to hit your maintenance calories because nutrient-dense, minimally processed, unprocessed foods, they're lower on the calories, right? They're not as calorie dense, but they fill you up pretty good. Okay? So as long as you hit these three things, and the last thing is, if you do these three things dangerously consistent and you show up day in and day out, I guarantee you are going to go from this to this in your own version, obviously. You're not going to look like me because you aren't me. You're you. So based on your genetic predisposition, whatever, you don't know because you haven't gotten there. That's why you clicked on this video, right? You have to put in the work and go through the fire yourself and get molded and develop an iron mindset by staying disciplined day in, day out, no matter the mood, right? Because being jacked isn't just the visual proof, it's the confident mindset and the self-chad mindset that you've developed through this time. Whether that's going to be in the next 3 months, 6 months, or a year, that journey is up to you, depending on how bad you want it. How convicted are you in doing this, okay? Word of advice: failure hates persistence. So if you keep trying, you cannot lose if you don't quit. You got to keep trying, use this information, kind of see and self-reflect if you plateaued. But I guarantee you, if you follow these things, all of these things that I say, you're going to make it. You're going to get jacked if you're skinny, okay? So that's pretty much the whole video. And if you want me to coach you through all these 3 steps personally, right? If you feel like you want more hands-on, one-on-one, more nuance, catered to your lifestyle and your goals, and you want to finally leave the skinny life behind, go ahead and apply for my one-on-one coaching in the Calendly link down below, okay? And I'll see you if you're a good fit for the program. But if not, I have content on my Instagram page where I post daily stories. I post content, fitness and mindset related. It's not like the top 3 bicep exercises, because we all know that. We could just look that up easily, right? I go more into the specific problems of a skinny guy, how I coached myself to get out of that skinny phase, right? That mindset, what kept me stuck for years on end, and what finally made me change to not become skinny, right? It's not the fact that I went from skinny to jacked. It started superficially, right? I wanted to be more confident. I wanted to get more girls. But then it started to turn more and transmute into like, oh, I would like to do this. Like, if my past self were to look at me now, would I be proud of him? I got to do this for my little brother, my girlfriend, my partner, the people around me, right? I want to create a circle where we're constantly elevating. It's not hyper self-development, but it's like, if you know there's a problem, you're going to do something about it, right? And that's what I made this video for you guys for. If you're struggling with skinniness and low self-esteem, things like that. I know this was an objective video, but there's more that goes into it. Go on my Instagram and check it out. And I promise you guys will find some gems if you guys apply the things that I say in some of these videos. Take everything with a grain of salt, obviously, and apply it to your own life. But I promise you, if you listen to these videos and you apply the things that I've said on this video so far, you're gonna get your goal. Okay? Do your own research too. Chat GPT if you want. But if you want my personal one-on-one coaching, feel free to do that. But either way, that's all. That's what I have for today. I hope you guys took some insane value from this, because I did put a lot of effort into this, and I really do care. I want you guys to get better yourselves through your own personal journey, whatever you guys are going through. But you guys have a great night. I'll see you guys on the next one.